Hi everyone, welcome to
Londinium Legions.
Londinium Legions. That intro is, it's up there.
Catchy.
It's pretty strong. Anyways, I am Captain 5-Year Baker, aka Elijah Baker.
And I, get this, I am Faisal Molabocus, but you can find me online as the Mythic Woodsman.
Indeed. We are Londinium Legions, and this is the first episode. Gonna give you an idea of what it is that we do. It's an intro slash first episode. We need to talk to you so you can understand what it is this is about and where we're gonna go, what you're gonna know. It's my bro, all of that good stuff. So great stuff. This is to give you an idea of exactly what this channel is gonna be about, where it's gonna go, and give you an insight into what you can expect to see.
Indeed, there are already some great channels out there that in this figure collecting space. There are some great review channels, some great podcast style chats and things, but I think we're going to focus more on what we're starting to kind of, I guess, get known for, and is the outdoor figure photography. We'll cover locations, how we find them, where they are, why we go there, and what we do there and how we do it. We'll give you a little insight into why we do what we do, because we love it.
Like what Fire said, literally showing everything around how we do what we do, from the locations to the setup of the shots to what inspired those shots. And we'll have a series of images showing in every episode where we narrate and we talk over the images to let you guys know specifics about how the image came to be, what you end up seeing posted, where it came from, where the idea from the spot that was picked all the way down to how the pose was posed to our footing when we were taking the picture, all that information you need so you can get yourself out there and you can join us, because action figure photography outdoors is our favorite aspect of the hobby. But without further ado, let's get into it, guys.
Here we have one of my armory builds from last year's Legions Con, the Pale Orc or Orc Vampire, whoever you want it to be. This shot I took in a National Trust place called Oldbury Hill, which is an Iron Age hill fort, which was taken up by the Romans. So interesting history. Just used natural lighting on this one. So you see the natural lighting coming in from your left, his right. And I wanted to capture the skull of the pauldron. It's probably some of my favourite pauldrons, that style. So just enough light capturing the eye, his right eye, to kind of give it that realism. So setup was quite easy. Just stuck him on a branch of a tree, and just experimented moving around the figure. So the figure's stationary. I moved around it to see where the light hit it. So I kind of got a half-half, so half lit and half of it in the shadow. So yeah, this is probably one of my more favourite shots. I like the way how it came out because it looks quite realistic. So it's kind of a realism I tried to go for with most of my shots.
Love it.
Here we have my second image, a graveyard skeleton from the pack. The photograph was taken in Hosey Common. It's a woodland in Kent near the border with Surrey. This is a Amanita muscaria, or a fly agaric mushroom. Great colour. So I spotted this one in the woods and thought I had to get a shot with a skelly, just relaxing, taken in nature. So I like the casual nature of this shot. Again, natural lighting, so wasn't that fancy. I just kind of pre-posed my skelly so he looked good on the mushroom or toadstool. See the light coming in from the right hand side, so you get a nice play of light and dark. So I believe that you don't always have to have your entire figure completely lit to make a good shot. So the play of light and dark can work really well. So always look out for mushrooms. You know, there's always interesting spots to put a figure, and this one I think worked quite well.
Yeah, for me, Fires, this is one of my favourite images that you've taken, because you've got that, that quintessential fantasy looking mushroom that we see pop up throughout fantasy since way before we were even born. Hundreds of years of fantasy novels and whatnot, those mushrooms seem to be a feature that pops up a lot. I always think of gnomes when I think of that mushroom.
Also Super Mario.
Yeah, Super Mario, of course. Yeah. Luigi in the gang. And I like the pose. The pose just says, I'm taking it easy, you know. Even in death, I'm still going to find the time to get some R&R.
Yeah, I think we should all remember that. Sometimes you need to lay back and relax.
Absolutely.
Image number 3. This is a Venalis Arden scale. Interestingly, a figure I wasn't actually interested in at first, but it's now become one of my favourites. This image I had in mind when I bought the figure. I saw the neck articulation, and I wanted to have him peering over, sort of spying or looking at something in the distance. So this shot was taken in Ashdown Forest in Sussex, a forest famous for Winnie the Pooh. That's home with Winnie the Pooh, where the author lived, and
and Tigger too.
Yeah, and Tigger, the rest of the band. So this shot, without the cloak, I've had him peering over this mossy log. Now, moss is something that myself and both Elijah and myself absolutely love.
Love it.
It's very easy to photograph. Scale wise, it works well with figures, and gives like a real great natural feel to the environment. So if you see a log anywhere with moss on it, I'd say give it a go, because you probably get a good shot with it. Natural light. I think this was like maybe late morning, early afternoon, so wasn't too bright, which is if you find very bright times of day can sometimes overexpose a shot. But the only thing I did with this shot in post was add a tiny bit of blue tint to give it a bit of a colder feel, so as the actual figure's a tiny bit more lighter green than it is in this picture. But yeah, I like this one.
Great image. Yeah, so happy to see Faisal expanding when it comes to the races that you want to procure and that you want to assimilate into your collection. Love the colours. Even today, Faisal and I was out taking some more pictures, outdoor action figure photography, of course, and I said, yeah, seeing this figure in person makes me want him, and these kind of shots are what brings me to want to procure this figure even more.
Thank you.
He looks very suspicious. Looks like he's either, you know, checking out the surroundings, or he's up to something. He's spying. It looks like he's incognito, almost camouflaged. And like what Faisal said, yeah, we love a mossy log because it's so fantasy. Yeah. It says mythic. It says woodland realm. It says wilderness, and can't get enough of it. Yeah, and I love the background when it comes to the lighting as well. And this is just a superb figure, which I need to get.
Image number 4. This was taken in Shorn Country Park in Kent, which is on my old policing area. So this is a little bit of a mix-up of the soft goods is from the Necker Shaman Predator. It's a good wired, dirty cape. The chains come from an old piece of jewellery I had. I think a pentagram or something stupid. And the head is from the heads pack of this kind of gruesome looking zombie guy with the big bulbous eyes. I love it. I think it's a Hagnon head, isn't it? On a graveyard skeleton. So this was a bit of darker light conditions, which can work. So I used an additional light. So myself and Elijah both carry lights with us when we go out and about. We have the Ulanzi, I think VL49s. So it's a full RGB light. You've got all the colours you want on it. Just like a kind of a cool, somewhere between green and blue, to give it that kind of chilling, spooky feel. So just had the one light coming in from the left side of the image with the natural light in the background. So just enough to illuminate that boiled egg looking eye he has, which really stands out, and the chains. When it comes down to the posing, we always try to tell a bit more of a story, so that, I mean, people can pose the figures how they want, but I like to give them some real kind of feeling and emotion to it. So he looks like a pretty tormented figure here. But yeah, I sometimes just the one coloured light is enough to illuminate a figure. And for this shot, I like it. It's quite a good one for Halloween.
Hallows Eve. Yeah, for me as well. I love the background because it says that it's either golden hour, as in darkness is about to, fall upon us, and that's why this ghoul is waking up to move around and operate.
He brains.
Or light is just about to hit, and so he's about to retreat.
He's going away.
You choose, use your imagination. And also, there is an element that with the left arm, it looks like, with the left hand, he's pondering. It looks like the hand is, he's like resting his head on his hand and he's pondering. But alternatively, it also looks like he's just waking up and ready to inflict madness upon the world again.
Eat some brains.
Indeed. Be ghastly.
Here we have my 5th and final image of the day. This image was taken at Eridge Rocks Nature Reserve in Tunbridge Wells. Very nice part of Kent. Incredible place full of prehistoric sandstone outcrops. So great place for figure photography. So here we have Brother of Bjorngar. Bread. Which on the far left we have Vanellis Ardenscale. We have my Woodland Ranger, which is a build I made from the Armoury experience last year, with a beautiful soft goods cape by Darla Ackerman I acquired last year at Legion's Gone.
Legend.
Yes, and actually the Revenant with a head swap. So maybe the Revenant before he lost all of his flesh. So here we have an adventure party, which I love these shots, and I was inspired to take these shots by Elijah, who's I think probably one of the best out there for adventure parties.
Thank you, sir.
Where he mixes goblins and dwarves and dragons and all kinds of interesting creatures. So I've got started with them now. So I have here I have 4, but you can have as many or as little as you want in these pictures. Natural lighting. So this was at about 5:30 in the morning. So I had the entire place to myself, and just that natural early morning light coming in from the side. So I find it very easy to take photographs in those conditions, because it's just made for it really. So we have our four on a quest here, sort of maybe taking time out to enjoy the sunrise before continuing with the rest of their quest or whatever mission they're on. The imagination is all yours really. So yeah, one of my favourite locations to take figure shots, and you find a ledge like this rock piece and literally just pose your figures, stick them on there, and go for it. Easy as that.
The ledge is a shelf provided by nature. And I love that, Faisal. I love that you're on the adventure parties now, because we love adventure parties, and they've always been there, from the Conan movies, to Game of Thrones, in fantasy in general. It's always way more interesting. Lord of the Rings, as you mentioned before, as well. Yeah, the ultimate adventure party. And so it just gives that variance, and it makes it more dynamic and interesting when we have different characters from different backgrounds, different shapes, different sizes, different skill sets that all bring something to the table. Whether they're all villains, they're heroes, or there's dodgy agendas at play and they don't know if they can trust each other, It's always great storytelling to have the adventure parties. And I'm so glad that you're on it, Faiz.
More to come, more to come.
Phenomenal shot, love it. Hey everyone, so this is my first image, and as you can see, you have the head of Sir Gideon on a Valiant Knight body. And this location is Legionnaires Abbey, one of Faisal and I's favourite locations to go. Were I to choose, I would say this is my absolute favourite location, and the proof is in the images that you can see from me. And what we have here is a knight resting, taking it easy. You can see he's got a satchel. That came from Crotus, but he also comes from Walter the Mad as well. Provisionals. And he's resting. You can see there's a cat in between his legs, and he's just, taking it easy and taking in the sights. And yeah, Legionnaires is fantastic because it is genuine ruins, so it works perfect for the mythic and fantasy. And the blue sky is so clear and it's just crisp, and it was just a perfect lighting for the day as well. Not much editing was required here. You can see the shield resting, and these kind of shots, the warrior taking a moment of R&R to just reflect, contemplate before moving on to the next phase of a quest or to a whole other quest in general. The last I'll say on this image here is that it's great to mix different lines together, of course. And when you mix these small animals, this is from, I'll say Schleck. Is it Schlick? Schleich. So this is from that brand, and I got this from Smith's Toys. Not hard to find. You can find it online, or you go into a Smith's Toys, which is the local. I say local. There's not many of them left, to be fair, but big toy stores that took over from Toys R Us that we have in the UK, and they work beautifully. And there's so many animals available, but the cats and some of the other scales, like the rabbits and whatnot, they work really well with the scale of the mythics. And so yeah, it just tells a story by itself. And yeah, this is one of the favourite images of mine that I've taken. And again, Legionnaires Abbey is a wondrous location. And that's all I have to say about this image.
This is a great shot. What I like is the contrast, and see how the textures of the rock and the steel armour with that beautiful blue background makes for a great shot. It really, really works. So the colours on that very strong.
Thank you, Fires. Yeah, and people can take from it what they want. I mean, I'm sure your mind can take you to a place where you think, oh, is that a place he's passing through? Is he a sentry? Is he on guard? Is he you know, has a battle just been fought and he's taking a moment to rest? Whichever you take from it, but yeah, this location just speaks for itself, and yeah, happy with this image.
Bravo.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Faisal. Here's my second image, and you may recognise the head of the individual, the person that this figure is portraying. I'll talk about the image in terms of the photography first. So this was taken at a great place that Faisal and I like to frequent called Wanstead Park. I haven't been there as many times as Legionnaires, and I think Faisal, you've only been there once. Oh, I thought you'd been there more. They're in spirit. And this place is a great location. It's not as big as some locations we go to, like Ashdown and Epping. However, there's a lot to play with there. They've got quite a few features that can work for the action and figure photography. And this is a spot that Faisal and I, you saw this spot before, this tunnel area. However, I haven't used it too much because at the time I think there was just too much water in there and it just looked a bit treacherous. However, yeah, I said, you know what, let me put a figure in the centre. This would be perfect for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, any characters walking through sewers of any kind. I mean, this could be the sewer outlet underneath a castle, you know? And so, yeah, the tunic was custom made as well. But anyways, we'll get into the image itself. So as you can see, the beaming light stretching through, and this was the kind of image Faisal and I take images sometimes where we say to each other, this needs next to no editing. This image hardly needed any editing as far as I was concerned. Gave it a slight edit, but yeah, it's probably one of the least edited images I've ever taken. And you can see there's a warrior, a knight walking through some sewers, and think of it what you will. And this is one of my recent images. Yeah, really pleased with this one.
Yeah, when he showed me this image, I was quite freaked out because I didn't expect to see my own head on a mythic figure. So a dream realised. I guess I've got a tribute figure without even having a tribute figure.
Absolutely.
So who's it in with this head sculpt for you?
Corey, aka Sergeant Sausage at the moment on Instagram.
Sergeant Sausage, indeed.
Yes.
Great image. Again, some great leading lines with the brickwork in the tunnel that goes over the arch over his head. So all the lines essentially point towards the figure. So it naturally draws your eye in. So perspective on this, I'm sure Sensei Jeff Williams
absolutely
would agree.
Yes.
That
the Abbot.
Yeah, everything brings you into the figure. So yeah, quite freaked out to see myself as a figure. Now I have ownership of the head. I'm using it myself, which we'll see in the future. But brilliant shot. Bravo, my friend. Thank you,
Fines. Thank you. And it was important for me to put the character in the centre of the image as well, because that is, well, I wanted the figure to be the centrepiece of the image, and the tunnel, like Faisal said, with the lines, it just shapes it to be perfect, to be in the centre, to draw more attention to the character in the middle on his journey questing. Here's my third image, and as you can see, the infamous, glorious Goblin King Noglin with one of his minions, his rodent companion, on his left shoulder. And this location here, this was in Keston Ponds. Faisal actually discovered that we could place a figure on this rock, which is in front of this mini waterfall. And yeah, just adored it. As soon as Faisal pointed it out, I was like, right, I've got to put a figure on there and take an image. The scepter in King Noglin's right hand is from the Mouse King. And I felt like it was just perfectly fitting for King Nolan to have that. Maybe he procured it from the Mouse King in some sort of battle to see who'd be ruling whatever kingdoms that they resided over. Anyways, but yeah, really happy with this. Another image that barely needed any editing at all. And it's just about balancing and placement. So yeah, the footwear got a bit wet in setting up this image. However, yeah, it was so worth it, and this became probably my favorite shot of the day because it was perfectly placed, and it's great. You know, Faisal will tell you as well, when we find those poses and those particular, you know, whether they're ridges or just the footing for a figure to be posed and not fall over. It is brilliant, you know, because then you don't have to contest with a time. You know, you just place the figure there, and unless there's a crazy gust of wind or a dog comes by or a football, you know, which hasn't happened yet, hits the figure or whatever, then it's going to stay still, basically. So I was happy about it. And even the rat managed to stay still as well. And yeah, read into this image what you want. I love it. Perfectly placed. And yeah, couldn't have asked for a better spot for this figure to be placed.
Yeah, with this, I love the colours. The red and gold really stand out behind the kind of softer water in the background. So colour contrast makes this really pop. And you think it would take a lot of editing to do that, but the light conditions on that day were perfect. And we've both seen each other's photos of that day, and I say, hands down, that's the best shot of the day that any of us took. That's a really good one.
Shucks, Faisal.
But that's... actually, the Ravensbourne River is what's in the shot, and it's a great place because there's so many spots where there's mini waterfalls, or you can get your figure in front of, behind, or in the stream itself. Good location, like very nice area. But yeah, this is, I think, one of my favourite shots you've taken, especially the goblins.
Thank you, Faisal.
And it's worth getting Noglin's feet rusty for this one.
It is, you know, I hadn't taken King Noglin out for a while, so it was time to get him back out there. And, you know, you could believe this might be one of his many territories that he owns. He's probably got some guards very close by because the king can't go too far by himself because, well, he's crucial to the whole Goblin Kingdom, to Gob Hollow. So, yeah. Cheers, guys. Hi, guys. Another image of mine. You can see Tyrannid Gene Stealers from Warhammer 40k surrounding two characters who look like they are a part of an adventure party, a two-man adventure party. A Dragoseer called Arakagor, one of my favourite figures, one of my favourite characters that Four Horsemen Studios have ever made. Next to, well, back-to-back with his dwarf companion and the heads of custom. Yeah, this, for me, is one of my favourite images also. This is actually at Lesness Abbey as well, and this part here is actually where the serving trays would be posted through the food back when this place actually ran as an abbey. And for me, it just felt like a great location. It reminded me a little bit of Conan the Destroyer. You know, the locations in that, the one location in particular, and what you can see to the left, it reminded me of like there's like a sort of sliding door in Conan. Anyways, yeah, it was that kind of vibe. But yeah, again, with the rocky terrain and the angle that I took this image at, the low angle really makes it feel for me like the Tyrannids are closing in and swarming in, and almost like a claustrophobic feeling with the characters, and the odds are really stacked against them. They got this, but the odds are stacked against them. And yeah, and the Tyrannids are great because you can play with their arms, and they're so compatible with most action figure lines, and they act as the perfect cannon fodder, perfect swarm for 1, 2, 3, however many heroes you want, taking on insurmountable odds. And really pleased with this image.
Yeah, I love with this shot the focus pull to the dwarf. So the Tyranids and the Dragoseer behind are in softer focus, but the dwarf really pops through because it's the point of focus in this shot. Tyranids are great. I mean, even though they're from a sci-fi world, like you can use them in just about any situation, whether it's fantasy, sci-fi. Yeah, a lot you can do with them, and really good fun to pose. The head sculpt on the dwarf, I believe, is Mark Calvo.
Mark Calvo painted it, yeah.
Such a great dude and does fantastic work, so highly recommended if you're looking at head sculpts. And once again, Legionnaires Abbey provides a fitting backdrop for figure photography. Nice.
Yeah, Mark, I believe Mark's made a few of his own head sculpts. Most of the ones you get on his website are ones that he paints. But yeah, superb painter.
Yeah, great work.
So for my final image of this episode, here is a shot taken along the River Thames. This is more in the area of Southwark, near Rotherhithe specifically. And the River Thames provides so many great options for action figure photography. I mean, and, Faisal mentioned it when he saw that I selected this image. It does actually this image speaks to the ever-changing environments. Because what we see, the arch above, doesn't exist anymore. We came back to shoot in what is one of our favourite spots along the Thames, and it was broken. So maybe whether someone done it intentionally, or a lot of people mudlark around there, they look for buried treasure and all kinds. Some maybe it just happened, or it's just organically collapsed. However, this shot for me, I put together a custom figure. It's an orc pirate that we can see, and he's clearly on some form of quest. And he actually a part of him fell into the water, but I actually like it because it looks like he's really been through stuff.
Makes sense.
And he's been traipsing through. And just perspective wise, it just gives the impression that he's been on a bit of a quest and he's got a long journey to go because of the vast landscape that you can see before you, and the way the sky is in the background. And for me, this just reeks of adventure and an isolated landscape. And for me, these are some of my favourite shots to get, where you can really get a feel for the environment through the image that you can see.
Yeah, this part, I think it comes down as Rotherhithe Beach, isn't it?
Yeah.
But such a great location when the tide's out. So with tides, you have to be wary of of the time.
Yes.
Because I think once before we almost got caught out. It was coming in quite quick.
There's pictures of this.
Yeah, there's documentation. But you've got a good few hours where you can get out there.
Yeah.
And once the water's receded back, it just shows you this world that most of the time you never see. So I love the setup of the shot, where the figure to the left, you've got the foreground directly in front of him, the archway, which is now no more, and then obviously from the midground to the background, which is softer focus. So you get a lot of depth of field in a shot like this, and a lot of textures. So like the cape being wet just makes sense, because like you would get in a mess walking in an environment like this. And again, environments like that can be perfect for fantasy, for sci-fi, for dystopian landscape, for just about anything. So imagination is literally got no ceiling really. So in terms of shot creation, relatively simple, but it shows you like you don't have to do that much to get a great shot. If you've got a good eye, you kind of like weigh up your foreground, your figure in the background, and kind of see what works. And here, Elijah has succeeded.
Thank you, Faisal. Yeah, you can do very little and get a lot out of the results.
Yeah.
Thank you for viewing, guys, our first episode of Londinium Legions.
Yep, thank you for joining us on our inaugural episode. There will be much more to come with such things as some of our outdoor activities. We'll talk about things like posing, about dynamic movement, how the body works, to make your posing make more sense. We're talking about
environments that we go to.
Yes, environments, locations.
We'll be showing indoor,
easy for you to say,
action figure photography as well.
Yeah, we're mainly going to focus on the outdoors, but we do, especially when the weather's not good, we will shoot indoors. Show a little bit of that because the setups are a bit different.
Oh yeah, so many possibilities indoors as well as outdoors.
I think we discuss equipment as well.
Absolutely, all the tools that we use to actually aid us on our travels, from the Ulanzi lights that Faisal mentioned before, all the way down to the type of footwear you might want to wear when you're in said environments.
So, since you have the opportunity and your ears, a massive shout out to Four Horsemen Studios for making the greatest line on earth. Jeremy, you are the Four Horsemen.
Absolutely.
Massive shout out to the community. So the Cabal, thank you, Walter. for making such a great place. Well, yeah, the Blue Sea, the best community I've ever been in. I love figures, I love people, and two together makes the best.
Absolutely.
Looking forward to go to LegionCon again this year. So
we're ready. We're gearing
if
up
you're
to
there,
go.
we shall see you there.
To echo and to piggyback off Faisal's sentiments, we've been inspired to create our own show through watching a plethora of other shows, and here we are with Londinium Legions repping it for the UK chapter side of the Mythic Legions action figure community.
Yeah, it's okay in the UK.
Yeah. Stay tuned.
Hell the fleshless.
Legions lovers, see you next time. Peace.